Doggone it, guys, I just keep having microphone problems. I'm gonna have to fix something with a microphone or a wire or something, because I just shot this and it was 10 minutes long, and sound quality was absolutely horrible. So anyway, I'm here. It is basically midnight on Sunday night. What else did I explain? Got an issue right now, second week back to school. With everyone going back to school, my normal training time here at home is 8, 9 o'clock. With everyone going back to school, 8, 9 o'clock is kind of like bath time and bedtime to get everybody ready for bed. So, and then Sunday night, so that kind of shifted everything off my little guy. Got him to bed early. My older one stayed up a little bit later as well. Get to get my wife to bed as well. So it's got me here, and it's a little bit late. I've got a new lens on the camera. Actually, it's a really, really old lens. I let someone borrow, and they brought it back the other day. So it's a great lens. If you're watching it, the only issue is it's absolutely like really tack sharp. It looks absolutely wonderful as long as I get it in focus. And if it's not perfect, it looks horrible. So right now you're either saying, hey Clint, you look better than usual, or sharper than usual. You can see the ugly better than usual, and you love the new lens, or I'm way out of focus and it looks terrible. I can't tell because the camera's way over there. But I'm sitting here with a steak, sweet potatoes, and I got some ginger garlic paste, and I got my drink here. I drink a ton of cranberry juice, coconut water, lemonade, and electrolytes. I add carb powder quite a bit as well. My meals earlier today were fish, potatoes, carrots, so I need something with calories in it. I may only finish half the steak, and I may chew on the sweet potatoes while I'm warming up. Actually, that's one of the big things, good things about being here at home. So my log is right there behind me. I work right here, and then the kitchen is right there, and my family is literally right up there. So if they need something, I can take care of them as well. But I've got a nice big plan. I've got a lot of work to get done too. I showed this as my clients that I've got to get done tonight before bed. Only a couple of them are difficult tonight. But I've mentioned a few times in the last week that I felt bad. I felt sick, sinus infection, no appetite. All that's changed in the last 24 hours, and I feel pretty good and motivated. The only issue is basically, goes with the disease that I have. Everything is just emptied out of my body. So I've lost probably 3 kilograms, something like that. But I think most of it is just food that my body's non-stop digesting. That's my nice big belly bloat of food that I've got going on. It's kind of disappeared. So opportunity knocks. Time to eat, get the food in, bloat back up. I'm looking at today's training, and I've got a lot of stuff going on paper here. Some of it is stuff that I have to get done for training. Some of it is obviously a lot of accessories, and a lot of it is photos and video work I have for clients that they exercises and descriptions of exercises that I want them doing this week or next week. So I'm doing it here at home, and I'll get photos and videos. That way I can send them descriptions of what I want to see them doing. So there's a lot for me to get done. Now there's not a lot of hard work. I think with log, all I've got is 85% for a double, and that's easy work. Last week was 80% for 3 sets of 3. I do know that next week I believe is 90% for a double, and then the next several weeks are all above 90%. So it's going to be like a good 3 weeks of testing after this week. So what I want to explain in the next couple of minutes, if you stick with me here, is that when you are doing your core lift and you kind of shrink your core lift down, so 85% is a 5-rep set. Last week 3 sets of 3 clean and press each rep. That was some actual work. This week at 85% for a set of 2 should not be. I haven't done it yet, but it should not be. So I've shrunk that down. That gives me 2 major opportunities. Okay. The first one is I can use the opportunity in today's training session to take all the accessories and blow them up and work. I can do extra work. I can go extra hard if I want to. I can do an extra 1, 2, 3 exercises maybe. If I'm working smaller groups, extra rear delt work, maybe some stretching lat work, some extra ab work, some extra tricep work, some extra side delt work, pec work, something like that. Even do an extra exercise, axle clean and press if I want to. And I can recover from it. What else it allows me to do is that I'm looking at the rest of the training week. And if I compress the core lift today, I can spread out a little bit my accessories that won't eat into my recovery a ton. And then I look at tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm supposed to pull, I believe, 95% for a double on deadlifts. So I need to go into tomorrow fairly recovered. So if I get totally stressed out and just floored from today's training session, if I kill myself on the core lift and then worked hard on the accessories as well, tomorrow I'm still recovering from this big time. You know, if I do a heavy log and accessories, my shoulders, elbows, biceps, back, hips, hamstrings, those are all going to be hit. So I won't walk into deadlifts tomorrow fresh. And it would be nice to be able to walk into deadlifts tomorrow fresh, because I know I'm going to push. I know I need to push myself. It's scheduled to push myself on deadlifts tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, I have the option to either deload box squats, or I'm working with sets of 5, which don't absolutely kill me. And then on Thursday, I'm supposed to load a PR Atlas stone. So you have to look at, you know, what you can recover from is a straight line across here. So every time you take your core lift above that line, your accessories need to go below that line. And every time the next training session goes up, you need to spend equal or greater time below that recovery line to make sure that your body is going to actually recover from it. So during your week, you should be like this. You're never going to be straight across like that. You're like me, you always want to push a little higher. But you got to make sure that everything flows. And a good way to do that is always to write things down. Make sure that you've managed your core lift and you've balanced it with the right amount of accessories so that your body can recover. I think that's basically what I wanted to say. So give me a couple of minutes. Let me get a few bites of this steak in me, the sweet potato fries, and let's start pressing. Let's go, let's go. That needs to be about 80% of the weight of your circus dumbbell. All right, guys, that's Sunday night. Not a bad training session. I got overexposed. All right, guys, that was Sunday night. Not a bad training session. I want to kind of run down. I mean, for those following at home and trying to figure out their own programming, that's where this comes in handy. I'm still training at home. Limited equipment, although I still have more than most. Log press, knocked out my 85% for a double, which was 95 kilograms. So 198 plus 11, 209 collars, call it 210. Feels fine. Keep in mind that my goal, see, it's September, October, November, December. In 3 months, I really want to hit 120 kilograms, 264-ish pounds for a double. That's my goal. So if I push really hard right now, it doesn't do me a ton of benefit. I need to kind of lay back. I need to make consistent progress, and I've still got several weeks through September. After September, when I finish September, I'll have a good idea of what part of the last 12-week program that I've done, what small section of that is the best builder and what is the best, let's say, finisher as far as getting me ready to hit a big PR. And then I want at least two shots at hitting a PR while I'm there. So not pushing it, taking my time. I've got plenty of time. I really did want to play with the axle today. I haven't touched an axle in, man, over a year. I'm guessing it's been here at home. I've wanted to play with it for a while. The collars are messed up and off balance. I couldn't get one of them off today, so I reset one. Put one new collar on the bar while I was training. Had the idea to put it on the mats first strip I dropped, it bounced off the mats and almost took out a 6-pack of water and almost took out a really nice beer. Almost took out a couple of Cokes as well. So I've got to figure out a better way that I can do that. It would be nice to have some bigger drop pads that I could drop that on. But as long as I'm going to use this as an accessory, and I still use it as 70% of 242, 110 kilograms, and got my 3 sets of 3, then that's going to be fine. Notice the one set that I did where everything went crazy. I tried to bring the bar up on the clean, close to my body and brushing my belly like a weightlifter would, like I did when I was weightlifting. And I can't wear a belt. Part of that is incorrect technique. Part of that's I've got a big round belly. So my belly sticks out, and the bend, the arch, the issues in my back causes my belly to stick out very, very far. So then when you add a thick belt on top of that, the bar comes up, and if it's close to you, if you have any mistakes going on, that bar is going to stick on that belt. So I took the deadlift belt off, I left the soft belt on, kept the deadlift belt off, and last set still wasn't great, but it was a little bit better. And it's a builder. It's a builder. I decided instead of going with the log floor press to go with the axle floor press. Definitely need to add some weight to that, although if I'm going to do sets of 8 to 10, that's not really bad. A little bit of triceps, but I can definitely build on that. And the way my program is set up, it's going to continually build over the next couple of months on those accessories. So maybe that wasn't a terrible weight decision. I'm learning. I probably could have gone at least 25 pounds heavier, 10, 12 kilos heavier on all those, and still got my 4 sets of 8. Been perfectly fine. Continue to use my weaker grips. The seated band press, I did this last week with the log. My entire upper back and triceps got really, really sore from doing those with the log. Did them with the bar today. The bands are a little bit tighter. I might like it with the log better. I think that's probably an exercise that's better done in sets of 10 to 15. But I wanted to go ahead and try it as scheduled as 4 sets of 6. I could have used more band tension, I think, if I was going to do sets of 6, but I don't know if the bands would enjoy being stretched that far either. So I've got a few things I can figure out with that, or it may just work better on the log. The log doesn't stretch the bands quite as much. And I know it sounds strange, but you could add more bands and get more tension out of it if they're not completely stretched out as far as they'll go. They'll last longer as well. The log push-ups, skip log push-ups, I went with the axle push-ups at the end, and I continue that mostly just because the log was set up there. And because I haven't done any kind of pressing with my hands in a bench press type position, I've talked about this a lot, 6 months or longer. So, I've done a lot of log stuff, a lot of stuff with the neutral grip, palms facing, and I'm going to continue to do stuff like that. I do tricep work outside with neutral grip type stuff, but I think at least for a few weeks I will do with the bench press style grip and continue to add weight, continue to add a little more intensity to that. I do need a little bit more pecs if I'm going to train the stones. I don't need a huge bench press to train the stones, but I do need the pec work a little bit to train the stones, to squeeze the stones off the ground a little more. I know I can just do flies, but I think this is a better, safer option. Also, when you saw me doing the axle floor press set up off the drop pads, that's absolutely great if you're injured, if you've been injured. It's a short range of motion. You can do it at home. That's not some expensive axle. That's a piece of scaffolding pipe that was just found somewhere. And I've took plumbing couplers, whatever, rubber things. I bought them at Lowe's and just put them on there for stop collars where the bar is. Now the drop pads are expensive, but if you had to, you could use pillows and couches. Set up a couple of couches and set your bar across it. But if you've injured a chest, a pec, a shoulder, an elbow, you can press and basically let it go. Press and basically let it go. And if you need some bounce off the chest, if everything is hurting at the point of contraction, you can actually row it down a little bit and use the spring off the pads to help spring it back up. So it's you can have it at home. You can put, if you had 2 bumper plates, 220s, 245 pounds. I was using 25 kilos, 55 pound bumper plates. If you had a couple of those, a couple of coins to go on there as well, a couple of collars, you could stick those just anywhere. We could use them. You could use them as, I'm using them as furniture now in the living room. You can put coffee cups on them. You know, I drink from giant Coke bottles and cranberry juice bottles. Just stick it on top, and you're set with a table. And then when it's time to press, just pull it out. Same thing with the pads. The pads make great footstools. Absolute wonderful foot. My kids love the pads. So does my cat and my dog. They love to lay on them, play on them all the time. And the bar just rolls away. Stick it in the corner. It weighs nothing. Mine weighs like 10 kilograms, 20 pounds or so. That's what I count it as. And you can train it every day, multiple times per day. And then once you get a log in your living room, you can drop the log from overhead. Problem solved. Problem solved. So anyway, guys, that's it for me. That's a solid training session. I really felt good the entire training session. Everything was rocking. Everything was kicking. If you know, I still need a little more flexibility in my back. Being hypercritical, if you watch when I'm pressing, all of my sets when I'm pressing, I'm still, it looks like I'm pressing way out in front, and I am. I'm way out in front. So I'm getting it stable long enough for a down signal from a referee, especially if that referee's in front of me and he can't see that the log's in front of me, and then I'm letting it go. Most masters actually do that, if I'm being honest. Graham Hicks does that. But a little bit more lower back flexibility, warm up. Maybe I should run a couple more sets of reverse hypers. Maybe it would have gotten me in a better position, a more, a centered position through the middle part of my body, a little more shoulder warm up. And maybe I could have got that log a little more behind my ears with the centered belly position, a little more leg drive. And doing that, I definitely think 120 kilograms for single, it's 100% there. I think it's 100% there right now. A decent day, feeling pretty good like today. Yeah, 120, 265 was there today. Getting a double with it's not there yet, but if I could have several more days like today, it's absolutely there and more. And the next thing you know, that 300-pound log is just right there. The 300's 308, which is 140. And then if you can do 140, you might as well do 150, which is 330. And then next thing you know, you're close enough to an all-time PR. That's the way the mind goes. Getting out of here, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm getting back to work. See you tomorrow night for deadlifts.